My name's Steve Roberts, okay, and I'm here as owner and general manager of Platinum Homes here in Dubai. My experience is nearly 20 years in the property industry worldwide. I've been fortunate to be in that industry. That's taken me from as far away as the US, Spain, Russia, Singapore, Australia. Generally, I've moved to a market when it's been right to move to that area. Here in Dubai, I've been here over 3 years now. In the time I've been here, I've dealt with many developers here and many agents. That has caused me, in fact, in some of the frustration I felt with the service not being given to clients as it should do to form Platinum Homes. The difference between investment returns between off-plan and built is fairly simple. An example again is look at historics. The historics of the last 3 to 4 years in someone like Dubai Marina, generally the initial launch price compared to today's price would around about be half that. The potential that you also have with an off-plan development is that you can actually sell it during construction. Now again, this is called speculation, but again, with buying early on enough in the right area, you can certainly do very well with this. Obviously with a finished product, you're paying exactly the market price for that product. You have a good feel for that, but your investment return will be dictated by exactly how the market rises in a finished product in that area. Generally, higher the risk, off-plan, higher returns. End product, more faith and comfortability in yourself, but again, you are going to pay the market price. The question most people are going to ask, okay, is how much money can I make? And again, there are no guarantees. Looking at historics, Dubai's, I guess also with its tax-free returns and the growth of the country, you can make very good money in Dubai in returns. But I'll give you an example, just to be safe for those people looking at this from overseas. In the UK at the moment, it's very hard to actually net a 5% return on a rental property. There's certainly no doubt in Dubai, right, you will receive, okay, in the majority of properties, a higher return than you will get back in the UK. As an average here, you take the marina, a property worth $1 million will certainly be renting for around about 100,000, and that's a minimum. Okay, the returns really again are calculated, and again the safest investment is going to give you a rental return. Quite simply, as you know what your property has cost you, you know exactly what somebody's willing to pay for it. Again, as we discussed, an apartment will yield around about 10% return on that. That's based on historics, and again also based on the fact there was a huge influx of people moving to Dubai, and there was a huge undersupply at this point in time of properties available for rental, especially even in the short term. And with the amount of companies that are registering Dubai because of the growth here, there is a lot of people obviously moving here with their families, whether it be senior management or other workers. They need accommodation. General market outlook short term. What we're looking at here again, we're coming in, we're heading to really the midsummer now and end of summer. That's generally when the market has slowed down slightly, and that's really because of two reasons. One, a lot of the people living here, the expats, we like to disappear away from the heat for a month or so. Two, obviously, is the amount of tourists coming to Dubai. Saying that, the tourism here was up 34% in the hotels upon last year. The discounts that were normally associated with a summer stay in Dubai have not been present. So with less discounts than last year, we're still on a huge increase in people. Certainly from my operations that I see people again in the shopping malls, there's been no dip in the market. Short term, it's going to get better and better after summer and then the Ramadan. There's no question about it. Come October, right the way through to DSF, it's going to be extremely busy in Dubai. Mid and long term for Dubai. Okay, well again, nobody's got a crystal ball, but we are talking about a country here that the government is backing a long-term growth plan. Across all areas, whether it be legislation, whether it be infrastructure, transport, and alongside of property, there is not a day goes by that something isn't announced exactly for the long-term growth in Dubai. A lot of the properties now are being completed and finished on the market, which is giving a good feel for people who are wanting to feel for exactly what property is worth in that area. But certainly middle to long term, okay, we're still on a nice steady long term growth. Financing properties in Dubai. This is an area certainly where there's been a huge amount of growth in a competitive market. Over the last 12 months we've seen a lot of banks improving their mortgage features, and a lot of foreign banks also here. Also, we have your Barclays, your Lloyds, TSB, a lot of banks that are associated with people back home, also now offering some very good returns, but very similar to what you find exactly back home in a 20 to 25 year mortgage term. Obviously the qualifications you need for that obviously is to show obviously your income and some basis for that, but generally buying a property here in Dubai is a fairly easy process. Commercial property. Generally when it comes to property investment, a lot of people, especially in Europe, are used to investing in commercial property. They own their own property themselves with regards to their own home, but generally outside of that they'll look primarily towards commercial property. There are also commercial property funds in Europe where people put their money. Here in Dubai it's a little bit different. Certainly there is a huge potential for returns in commercial property. That's divided into two particular ways. One is buying an office and then leasing that back to a company, or then on the short term buying a serviced office which is leased back on a shorter term to companies. Primarily a company will come to Dubai, maybe in an office for maybe 3 weeks, maybe 3 months before they actually either have their own built or purchase their own. That being the case, short-term letting in offices has huge potential for high returns. Unlike a lot of countries, normally in a lot of countries you will have a sense of conveyancing. Primarily before you purchase a property, you would have somebody who's qualified to come in, check out that property for anything that may affect the purchase or the long-term value of that property. It could be downright, it could be anything. Generally in Dubai we don't rely on this. Again, there's a number of reasons for that, but primarily the market is moving so fast without it, it hasn't been necessary. And because also a lot of the purchases are off-plan, generally you're relying on the developer to deliver exactly what they say. Of course, that hasn't always been the case. You're never going to find it's going to be 100%. One issue obviously that will be apparent when you have so many constructions, and again this area alone has over 200 towers being constructed, is will it be finished on time? Now that's a question that really nobody can answer truly, in all honesty. In other countries, I'll give you Australia be an example, we have what we say as a sunset clause, where again there is a set time which is allowable that that property, even with force majeure circumstances of weather, increase maybe in the value of cement, whatever, will affect that, but that property really should be finished. In Dubai, the contractual laws that you have from a developer really are a little bit open towards the completion date. This is not really the fault of the developer, but primarily because the market, sometimes the market in cement has increased at one particular time over 300%. That is really slowed. It's also about supply and demand of materials. So generally most developers now will try and give you a genuine, to their knowledge, time frame for the construction of that. One thing I say when it comes to completion dates is that obviously the smaller the building, okay, the quicker it will be completed. Okay. If you get to see also that the contractors have already been signed up to complete that product, then you're going to find obviously that they're going to be going ahead fairly soon. But generally a late build is just something you can almost expect in a market that grows as quick as this does. Make sure you can afford the product, make sure you're not relying on it being settled on exactly that date, but the fact is with the off plan you are going to be making money. Generally any purchase overseas really is an element of confidence. I'd like to deal with my clients direct, and by that I mean face-to-face direct. I don't communicate initially via emails or mass email because I think I just think it's rude. If you're going to deal with anybody, you need to deal with somebody who you feel comfortable with. Also as well, regarding marketing as well, I think most people here in Dubai are well aware of, the customer always pays. If you're going to, with your property, start giving away certain items, think about that for a minute. Why would a genuine developer ever really have to give things away? Because a lot of my clients, I find, the money they're using, maybe the pension fund they're removing from their particular country, maybe the last of their savings. When it comes to that, they should be more interested in getting the right product for the right price, okay, with as little risk, as opposed to being entered to a lottery or a draw to win a car, a property, a boat, a plane, or God knows what. It's not important as getting the property and the developer right in the first place.